Hey, what's up, wonderful people? Welcome to the Black Hot Fire Network Saturday classes for the weekend. I do hope that you're doing wonderful and you're happy to be with us on this particular segment. Every other Saturday, we shall be getting to connect and learning Swahili together. And you get to understand that Swahili is the most prolific language on the continent of Africa. We are talking about predominantly the East African region. But also, if you go away from East Africa and go way south, you'll also be able to connect with Swahili language speakers. I'm talking about countries such as Zambia as well, and also places such as Rwanda, as well as the DRC Congo. You will be able to interact with the Swahili language speakers. My name is Pikes, and in case you're joining us for the very first time, I would just like to say karibu sana. And in Swahili, we do say mekaribishwa, which is you are much welcome. And in case you're trying to say hello to a group of people, you would say hamjambo, which is hello to a group of people. And then you will tell them karibuni sana, which is you are much welcome. So that is my salutations from me to you. Hujambo na karibu sana, which is hello and you are much welcome to this particular stream. We have been doing the Swahili classes stream off and on, but for the better part, for those that have been able to follow up with us, I know you are able to maybe look into some of the archives of our Swahili classes, and you can be able to still follow up and learn the language easily. These days, there are so many tools that you can get to use. One of the tools is a Duolingo app. Apart from that, we do have numerous videos on our channels, which is a Black Hot Fire. You can just search for Swahili class on Black Hot Fire on your YouTube, and so many classes, so many episodes will actually pop up, and you can be able to catch up with what is going on with that as well. So thank you so much. And I would just like to say that Swahili is not rather difficult. It's not difficult. If you're talking about, or if you're talking about comparative or compared to other languages, I would say that maybe perhaps you would find Swahili to be one of the least difficult when it comes to learning. And I would say it depends with your consistency, or it depends with your let me just say consistency. It depends with your consistency, because if you are able to maybe just commit your time, maybe within maybe say perhaps a period of maybe like 6 months, then you will be able to get somewhere in terms of your understanding or in terms of your learning of the language of the beautiful language of Swahili. And I'd also love to say that when it comes to maybe perhaps the easy way to learn this language, I always do suggest that you learn this language with your friends. You can learn the language with your colleagues. Just make sure that you are not on your own. You are just involving other people as well to learn this beautiful language. And when you involve people, I believe at the end of the day you are able to comprehend the language much better, because you can involve your friends, you can involve your family, you can involve your colleagues, and with that involvement, I do know that you are able to still get somewhere. And apart from that, I also want to bring your attention to the fact that these particular classes will be happening Saturdays and Sundays. So every other Saturday and Sunday. During the weekend, I do know that some people are quite busy, but nonetheless, you can still watch these particular episodes after we are done. It doesn't mean that you have to be live. You can still watch these particular classes after we are done. But it is very important, if you are able to get the opportunity to join us while we are still live, I do believe that will be much better, because you can ask a question, you can interact, or maybe perhaps you can ask for clarification. If you didn't understand something, You can engage me and say, okay, Spikes, I did not understand what you just said, or I did not understand your interpretation of this and that. And can you come again? If someone was to say come again in Swahili, they will say samahani, samahani, which is excuse me, or you would say samahani, sijakuelewa, which is excuse me, I didn't understand what you're saying. But when you get to learning Swahili, it's very easy. You use your palm, raise your palm up like this, and you do say we do have 5 vowels in Swahili, and you can represent them using your palm. You would say this is the vowel A using your thumb, the vowel A, the vowel E, the vowel E, the vowel O, the vowel U. Those are the 5 vowels in Swahili. Of course, any language is made up of vowels, and we do have the vowels and the consonants. In Swahili, we do have 5 vowels. A, E, O, U. And these vowels, we have always said that you can give examples of these particular vowels and say, for the vowels, these are the E, O, E, O, U. For these vowels, you would say, for example, in the word andika. Andika simply is a Swahili word, and andika means to write. Andika, it means to write. So in the word andika, you do have the vowel A. You have the vowel A in the Swahili word andika. And therefore, if someone is telling you to write something, for example, they're telling you to write a number down, they would say andika nambari hi. Number, you translate it into nambari. So you might say andika nambari hi. If you're talking about the second vowel, the second vowel is for endelea. You can say endelea. It's an example in the word endelea. Endelea, we do say continue. It means to continue. Continue. If someone is telling a story and the story becomes quite interesting, you can ask them to continue, or you can ask them to expound further. Someone can say endelea, and endelea simply means to continue. But if you're telling someone to continue, or you're asking someone about something, you can tell them endelea tafadhali. Tafadhali is a Swahili word which is shows just a politeness, and tafadhali simply means please. So if someone says endelea tafadhali, endelea tafadhali, endelea tafadhali, it means please continue, because tafadhali is simply a word, and tafadhali means please. But endelea, I was just giving us an example of the vowel E, which is the English letter E. The English letter E is a Swahili vowel E. You would say endelea. If you're talking about the first vowel I did share is A, using the thumb, because I did say the 5 fingers can represent different letters of the alphabet. Different vowels in the Swahili language. And you would say A with this big, the thumb. You'd say E, O, U. Those are the 5 ways in which you can use your palm to illustrate the 5 vowels in Swahili. So you would say endelea tafadhali. Tafadhali is just a word, and tafadhali is simply a word which means please. So if you're asking for water in Swahili, you might simply just ask tafadhali nipe maji, which is please. Give, please is tafadhali. So please, tafadhali nipe maji. Tafadhali nipe maji. Then that would be please give me water. Please give me water. And if you're talking about maybe perhaps someone has given you the water, and you're trying to tell them thank you. You're trying to appreciate or just show your appreciation. Then you would say asante, and asante is simply also another word which can be used instead of shukran. You can say shukrani, or you can say asante. So asante is just the way if someone says tafadhali nipe maji, that would be please give me water. Please give me water. So if they did say asante sana, that would be thanks a lot, because sana simply is just an emphasis for a lot, or very is an emphasis for very, all, a lot in Swahili. But for the basic part of it, it is important to rather quite just observe that the 5 vowels These are very, very, very important. We shall get into the consonants, but the basic part of our language is the vowels and the consonants. And when you talk about the vowels and the consonants, I've already given you 2 examples of the vowel A with the word andika, which means to write, the vowel A with the example endelea, and we might now go to the other vowel E, E. The E is the vowel, Swahili vowel E is an English letter I. So this is the vowel E, the vowel E, that is the E, the third vowel. So if you're talking about E, you might give examples, you will give examples, or we can share examples of the word inuka. Inuka means to rise up. If I wanted to just rise up and someone says inuka, it means to rise up, and therefore you would say inuka means to rise. Inuka, inuka. This is the third vowel. It means to rise. Or someone might say igiza. Igiza simply means to dramatize. Igiza. Igiza. It simply means to dramatize. Igiza. It means to dramatize. Dramatize. And if someone is dramatizing something or they are acting, then you would say igiza. Igiza simply means to dramatize or to act, and or even to entertain for broader point of reference, and even to entertain. So we have learned so far 3 vowels in Swahili, and these are the let me just use these 3 because that is what we have learned. These are the 3 of them, and this is the vowel a, and then the vowel e, and then e, and then we have 2 left, o and u, o and u. So the vowel o is the English letter O. The vowel, Swahili vowel O is the English letter O. So you might say, for example, in the word ogopa, ogopa simply means to fear. Ogopa simply means fear. Ogopa simply means fear. So if someone says ninaogopa simba, or ninaogopa mbwa, they are saying the ni points to self. The ni points to self, and the na is a present continuous, and that is the tense marker for the present continuous. So you must say ni pointing to self, and then say na, which is a present continuous tense, and then ogopa. Ogopa now is the verb. You say ninaogopa simba. Simba, that happens to be the object. Yes, simba happens to be the object. So you say ninaogopa simba. Ni naogopa simba. In Swahili, the sentence structure is just the same as you would have in English, and therefore you would say the SVO, the subject, the verb, and then the object. The subject, the verb, and the object. So you'd have the S, V, and O. Therefore, that will be the subject, the verb, the object. That is simply how you get to communicate, or how you put your sentence. It's your sentence structure. So if you say ninaogopa simba, then that would be I fear lions. I fear lions. So I am the subject, and then the verb is ogopa, ninaogopa, and then the object would be lions. What do you fear? I fear lions. Or what do you fear? I do fear maybe crocodiles, alligators, and things like that. So this is Swahili classes for the weekend. Always feel free to connect and ask a question. The sentence structure in Swahili is the SVO, and the SVO simply means the subject, the verb, the object. The subject, the verb, and the object. So far, we have learned about the 5 vowels in Swahili: the A, E, O, U. Those are the 5 vowels. The A, the vowel A, E, O, U. So if you're talking about the vowel A, I have given examples: andika, agiza simply means to order. Agiza means to order. Agiza is currently, it sounds very close to igiza, but agiza is a Swahili word that starts with the vowel a. So if you're talking about you in a restaurant and you wanted to order some food, you would say agiza chakula. Agiza chakula, it simply means agiza chakula. Chakula is food in Swahili. Agiza chakula. Agiza chakula. That would be order food. Order food. That is simply how you put it. Agiza chakula. That would be order food. But when your tummy is full and you have already eaten your meals, then you would say asante sana kwa chakula. Asanti sana is thank you so much for the food. You would say asanti sana kwa chakula, and that is understood to be thanks a lot for the food. Thanks a lot for the food. It's not even difficult. Remember, you can always interject at any point. You can ask a question, and you can also give me feedback regarding maybe perhaps what has your experience been with the Swahili language? What has your experience been with the Swahili language? Because for so many people, maybe perhaps you have not been able to interact with the Swahili language speakers, or maybe perhaps you did, and you were not able to understand what was going on. I would love to know what your experience was, or what has your experience been with this beautiful language of Swahili. Because sometimes you might think that wherever people are speaking in Swahili, only for you to realize, damn it, that is not even close to Swahili. Then you wouldn't know. But from these particular classes, you'd have a bit of an information or a background when it comes to understanding the language of Swahili and all what is going on with that particular language. It's very, very important that you get to train yourself, and get to learn and get to even try it out. Because if you do not try the language, then how will you be able to interact with the people that are speaking this language? And apart from that, you also have to realize that if you're trying to conduct business on the continent, maybe perhaps you want to invest in Tanzania, you want to invest in Kenya, you want to invest in Rwanda, Burundi, the DRC, it's very, very important that you have an understanding of a language which is Swahili. And Swahili is even getting embraced even in parts of the continent like Southern Africa. So if you're talking about communicating with people from these regions, it is very, very important for you to be able to just connect with the people and converse with the language that people understand. In Tanzania, Swahili is the official language as well as the national language. So when it comes to classrooms or people learning in schools, people communicate in Swahili in Tanzania. The same also happens in Kenya. Swahili is the national language. So therefore, if you're communicating with people on a forum, then you will advise to speak in Swahili. And that is exactly how they get to do it. That is exactly how they get to do it in Tanzania and also in Kenya. So I do believe if you do have a question, you can ask. But before we take a break, let's finish up with the other vowels. So we have talked about Igiza, which is the vowel E, Igiza, which is the English letter I. Then you have the O and U. The vowel O, for example, in the word Ogopa means to fear. So the vowel O is an example with an example of the word Ogopa. Ogopa simply just means fear. But if you finish up with Ogopa, you do have the final vowel O. O. For example, in the word Uliza, the vowel O, the Swahili vowel O is an English letter U. So if you're talking about Uliza simply means to ask. Uliza simply means to ask. So I might say Uliza swali. If I told you Uliza swali simply means ask a question. Ask a question. So for example, we are continuing with our classes and you didn't understand something, you can simply do ask a question. Then I would say Uliza swali tafadhali. Then that would be ask a question or kindly ask a question. Kindly ask a question. And that would be Uliza swali tafadhali. And if someone has answered your question, you would say jibu. Jibu is the answer, or jibu is a solution. So Uliza swali nitakujibu. Jibu is the response or the answer or a solution. That is what jibu simply means. So yes, if you have a question, tafadhali uliza swali, which is please, if you have a question, ask a question. Uliza swali. And that is the last vowel in Swahili. Like I did, so we have 5 vowels: a, e, o, u. Those are the 5 vowels in Swahili, and you can learn them pretty easily. Nothing is difficult. I do think what you just need to do is just continue learning or continue doing your practice, and once you do, you can be able to learn from that. We shall take a short break, and when we do, we shall be right back, and we shall be telling you, or we shall be learning a little bit much more when it comes to this beautiful language. For now, we shall enjoy a song, which is Sababisha, and it's by Savara. I hope you get to learn to enjoy the song, and I hope to get to love the vibe. Here's the song. We shall take a short break, and then we shall be right back. Yes, that is a jam by Savara, and I do hope that you're getting to love the vibe. And I would actually just say that Savara is just one of the most talented artists. When you talk about East African music, Savara is one of the most talented artists, and he's doing his thing. On that particular jam, it's known as a sababisha, and sababisha simply means to cause. If you're causing something to happen, then you would say sababisha mambo kufanyika. Fanyika or fanya is simply in Swahili means to do. So if someone says sababisha mambo kufanyika, then it simply means that they are causing something to happen. Nonetheless, we go back to learning Swahili, and I would just say before we get to that, we have learned about the 5 vowels: the a, the, I, o, u. Those are 5 vowels in Swahili, and we have already getting past that. And we do have the consonants in Swahili. The consonants in Swahili, they constitute all the words of the English alphabet. You only have to exclude the vowels. And then apart from excluding the vowels, you have to exclude the X and Q. Those are not found in the Swahili consonant. The X and Q, they are not found as part of the Swahili consonants. But apart from that, I want to highlight something that has happened very, very recently. And I would just say it is very, very important that we also get to note what has been happening with the issue of citizenship. So I was just saying that when you talk about the consonants in Swahili, we do say that the consonants in Swahili, they constitute all the letters of the English alphabet, apart from the 5 vowels that I told you about. And also you have to exclude X and Q, because X and Q are not found in this language. They're not found in the Swahili language, X and Q. So if you came across any word or any word that has an X and Q or in it, then you certainly have to know that without a doubt that is not the Swahili language. So once again, let me just highlight the 5 vowels: the a, e, o, u. Once again, these are the 5 vowels, and they are very, very important. For the a, that is the English letter A. The E is the English letter E. The E is the English letter I. The O is the English letter O. The U is the English letter U. So you might say andika for the vowel A, eleza for the vowel E, eleza for the vowel E, inuka for the vowel E, ogopa for the vowel O, and uliza for the vowel U. And those are the 5 vowels in Swahili. So if anyone is talking to you and they're just talking, what you realize with Swahili is that Swahili is made up of syllables. Is made up of words with alternating with syllables with alternating vowel sounds. Swahili is made up of words with syllables that have alternating vowel sounds. For example, kitabu. Kitabu is is a Swahili word which means a book. Let me just put it down so that you can see my point. Kitabu. Kitabu, it simply means a book. It simply means a book. And therefore, the key, let me just put it down. The kitabu, this proves to the point that Swahili is made up of words with syllables with alternating vowel sounds. The syllables with alternating vowel sounds. So the syllable is key. The syllable is key with the vowel sound key, the E. Then we do have the ta, and then we do have the bu. We do have the bu. So the syllable key has the vowel E. The syllable ta has the vowel A. The syllable bu has the vowel U. So Swahili is a language that is made up of words with syllables with alternating vowel sounds. So these are the syllables that have alternating vowel sounds. Ki, ta, bu. So I, a, u. I, a, u. If you're talking about things like wageni, wageni means visitors. Wageni, it means visitors, visitors, visitors. Wageni means visitors. Therefore, you would have the wa, you would have the wa, you would have the ke, you would have the ni. Then the wa, the syllable wa has the vowel a. The syllable ge has a vowel e. The syllable ni has a vowel e. So that would be a, e, wa, ge, ni, wa, ge, ni. And that is not even difficult to understand. It's quite easy. That is just a bit of an explanation of how the Swahili sounds like. And then we get to consonants. Consonants in Swahili, the consonants, because our language is made up of consonants and vowels. Consonants in Swahili. So the consonants in Swahili, they are all the letters of the English alphabet apart from X and Q, and also apart from the vowels. So you remove the vowels and then you remove the X and Q. Whatever you remain with, these fall the consonants. For example, the cha, kula, if you're talking about chakula, that which is food, you do say chakula. If you're asking for food, you would say tafadhali nipe. Nipe is give me. Nipe simply is give me, give me, give me. So someone says nipe chakula, they simply mean give me food. So if someone says tafadhali nipe chakula or nipe chakula tafadhali, it simply please give me food. If someone wanted water, they would say nipe maji, nipe maji. If someone wanted water, they would say nipe maji. If someone wanted maybe perhaps a book, they wanted maybe perhaps to get a book, they would say nipe kitabu, nipe kitabu. Nipe kitabu simply is just a way of saying please give me a book. Nipe kitabu tafadhali. Because kitabu is a book, then you would say nipe kitabu, nipe kitabu. That would be give me a book, give me a book. And if someone gave you the book, then you can simply still go ahead and say asanti. All asanti sana, ninashukuru. Asanti, all asanti sana, ninashukuru. Because asanti sana simply is thanks a lot, thanks a lot. I did say that sana is a word for emphasis. Sana means very, or sana means a lot, a lot. For example, if someone says ni points to self. The syllable ni, it points to I, points to I, points to self. So syllable ni, you would say nimechoka sana, nimechoka sana, nimechoka sana, nimechoka sana. If someone says nimechoka sana, then it simply would be I am very, very, very tired. If someone says nimechoka, then it is understood to be I am tired. And if they did say nimechoka sana, nimechoka sana, nimechoka sana, so if someone says nimechoka sana, the sana is for emphasis, and the sana simply just means a lot. That's to explain to someone that perhaps you're tired, you would say nimechoka sana. And the sana is for emphasis. The S-A-N-A, the S-A-N-A is simply just for emphasis. And if you're talking about maybe perhaps negating things, then you would say si, then that would be to negate the ni. For example, if you're talking about sijachoka sana, then that will be a negation. Then that will mean I am not very tired. I am not very tired. So you have to realize that you do have those two, the si and the ni, the si and the ni. So the ni points to I. So therefore, if you say I am very tired, you say nimechoka sana. For example, if you say nimekula chakula, nimekula chakula, kula means to eat. So I have eaten. I have eaten. So the ni points to I, self, points to self, points to I. And therefore, if someone says nimekula chakula, it simply means I have eaten food. If they were to say nimetembea, nimesafiri kidogo, safiri, that would be I have traveled. I have traveled. If someone says ninaitwa, for example, you're introducing yourself, and then you did say ninaitwa Spite. If you did say ninaitwa Spite, then that would be my name is Spite. Ninaitwa Spite. That would be just pointing to self, and when you point to self, you simply would say I. So therefore, if you did say ninaitwa Spite, then that would be simply understood to be my name is Spite, and you're pointing to self. And it's very, very important that you just simply get to introduce yourself anywhere. Maybe perhaps you've met a group of friends, or you've met a group of people, and they're just wondering, who is this? And you just wanted to introduce yourself. Then you would be able to do it quite easily by saying naitwa Spikes, or you might say jina langu ni Spikes. That would be my name is Spikes. That would be my name is Spikes. And it's not even difficult when you're getting to meet a group of people and you have just introduced yourself. And you have just said hello to them. The next thing you would be introduce yourself. You say hamzambo to a group of people. All hujambo to an individual. Hujambo is hello. Hujambo is simply just hello. Simply just hello to one individual. But if there are many, then you would say hamjambo. Hamjambo is to hello to a group. Hello to a group. If you say hello to a group, then you would be able to introduce yourself and say ninaitwa Spikes, which is my name is Spikes. And it's not even difficult. When you get to do that, they would be able to understand that your name or your name is Spikes, ninaitwa Spikes. If that is not the case, you can also say jina langu ni. Jina is a name. Jina, J-A-N-A. Jina langu. Jina langu is my name. Then that would be my name. My name. So we go back to something that we have already learned, and we're trying to figure out this language. So there is a ni for I, and there is a ni for is. There is a ni for is. There is a ni for is. So there are two uses of the syllable ni. One use of the syllable ni is pointing to self, I. Ninaitwa Spikes. But the second use, that is the first use of the syllable ni is pointing to self. Then you say ninaitwa Spikes. That would be the first use of the syllable ni. But we also do have the second use of the syllable ni, which is. So you would say my name is Spikes. Therefore, you would say jina langu ni Spikes. Ni Spikes is Spikes. My name is Spikes. So I don't know if you might remember that, but it is very, very important for anyone who is trying to understand the language to know that there are three uses for the syllable ni. Number one, pointing to self, the first person singular. I am coming home. That would be ni nakuja nyumbani. The ni points to self, I. So if you're talking about jina langu ni Spikes, that would be my name is Spikes. Then the ni in that particular context is for means is. The third use for the syllable ni in Swahili, to be able to just help you understand that even much more easier, the third use is that ni as a syllable is used to show that you're talking about inside a place. For example, if you do say soko simply means a market. Soko simply means a market. It means a market. And these are for nouns that represent the names of places. So soko means market. We do have a class. A class is referred to as darasa. Darasa is a class. So you're talking about the noun darasa when you're talking about a class. And then we do have another place. For example, duka. Duka means a convenience store or a shop. So duka means a shop or a convenience store. A shop or a convenience store. But I am trying now to drive you to the attention of the third use of the syllable ni. So the syllable ni can be used to show that you're talking about inside a place. For example, in soko, you will use it as a suffix to the noun. So therefore, you would say sokoni, sokoni. And when you do say sokoni, with the syllable ni as the suffix for the noun, it means you're talking about inside the market. In the market. All within, all inside the market. Within, all inside the market. If you do say, for example, darasani, you might say darasani, then you're talking about inside. You're talking about inside. Darasani, you're talking about inside the class. Inside the classroom. Inside, all within the classroom. Inside the classroom. So, in our language, or in the Swahili language, it is very, very important for you to be able to understand and also distinguish the three uses of the syllable ni. For example, if you do say ni, it means I. If you do say ni, it might also mean is. If you do say ni, it might also mean within, used as a suffix for a noun that represents a place, you're meaning inside that particular place. If you together up to that particular point, I would be happy. If you do have a question, tafadhali uliza swali. You can ask a question at any juncture because we are here to learn and we are here to just keep it vibrant and to just vibe and learn the beautiful language of Swahili. It's very, very important that you get to understand the language if you're trying to reconnect with the continent. It's very, very important. If you're trying to reconnect to the continent, it's very, very important. If you're trying to reconnect, very, very important. If you're trying to reconnect to the language. Is that if you're trying to understand the three uses of the of the syllable name, then it becomes quite easy for you to be able to understand that. And if you do have a question, tafadhali uliza swali. Swahili is also a very, very polite and courteous language. If you're talking about how you tell someone, please, you will say tafadhali. If you're asking about how you tell someone goodbye, you normally would say kwaheri. If you're talking about how you tell someone thank you, we do say shukran or lasanti. You can use those two particular examples. And I always do say that if you're trying to learn Swahili, unless you keep on practicing, we always do say practice makes perfect. Unless you're practicing the language, then you might try get to like a level of understanding of the language, only for you to be able to slide back. It is very, very important that you keep on practicing the language so that you can keep on moving forward in understanding this beautiful language of the Swahili language. Some people have also said that our Swahili language is a mixed language. We do know that Swahili has some borrowed words. And I'm talking about words borrowed from the Arabic language. But you also have to realize, because Swahili is a Bantu language, the Bantu languages often supersede the Arabic language. The Arabic language is only about 1,500 years old. But for the Swahili language, people have had the Bantu language. It's a Bantu language. They have had the Bantu language for so many years. So by the time there was interaction between the Bantu and the Arabs, the language is already spoken, and therefore you cannot say that Swahili is actually it has some borrowed words, but Swahili remains to be a Bantu language, which was spoken originally by the people of the East African coast. I'm talking about places such as Lamu, Malindi. I do believe even parts of Tanzania as well. These are some of the places in which the language is spoken. And I always do say that if you're trying to learn the language, you also have to have an understanding of the culture, so that because culture and language they go hand in hand, and you need to understand also what is the context or the culture of these particular people, and from that particular point, you will be able to be at a much better point of knowing what is going on in the language, because language is part of a culture, and if you're also interested in learning the language, it is always important that you also get to dive into an understanding of having an understanding of the culture, and from there you will know what were the norms, what were the habits, the norms of the people that were speaking this particular language. I always do say that the Bantu people, they are very hospitable, so therefore the language would also become very polite and also indirect. The language in the style of communication in the Bantu context, it was also very polite and indirect, so that you do find people coming to you, and before they tell you what they need, they just go on and tell you about this and that, or the weather has been this, or this and that happened, and then they will now go straight into telling you what they want, and that is part of the communication styles that we do have. But yes, remember we have said that we have the SVO, which is the subject, the verb, the object. If you do say in Ogopa Simba, it means ni is I, the subject, Ogopa is a verb, and then Simba is the object. In Ogopa Simba, it means I do fear lions. I do fear lions. There has been some misperceptions about the continent, and people think that lions just move walking around anywhere and you stumble into a lion. No, it will be very, very difficult for you to stumble into a lion unless you're coming from a place known as the wrong guy. Then you might stumble into a lion. But anyway, yes, it is very, very important for you to just use all the resources that there are on the internet. The Duolingo app, these archives of Swahili language classes, and you can also reach out. You can write to black.fireafrica@gmail.com, and I will be able to know about your concerns regarding the language or your interest in learning the language, and from there we will be at a much better place in terms of connecting and helping you understand and learn the language, which is very, very important. I want to draw attention to our official network website, which is www.black.firenetwork.com. And if you're trying to understand what it is that the Black Fire Network does, just head over to the Black Fire Network website. And when you are on there, you can also patronize the network. You can get yourself some merchandise, some hats, some t-shirts, some hoodies, whatsoever item that you like to buy on that particular network website. It will be very, very important that you check it out, and you will be able to just get a whole lot of things and items on that particular network. And I would say, for example, if you also want to get some nutritional products, you can be able to find them there. Let me just share the network with you, website. So you visit the network website on here, www.black.firenetwork.com. You'll be able to see the homepage, the show page, the videos, featured blogs, Black American news, African Kenyan news, about us. You can be able to find out what is going on in the network, the podcasts out there. If you wanted to support, you can click on this and support, and you can also view the social network. You can also listen to the live radio on here, and once you are on there, you can also connect with the rest of the family by clicking on that social icon. The social icon is just really to help you just see and connect with other like-minded individuals. The Black Water Network is also about inspiring our collective African consciousness for people globally. If you want to play a part in terms of awakening our people to see the reality of the world. The world has been shaped in a way which is very, very much Eurocentric, so that you look at things in a way which is not according to your way or your culture. It is just a borrowed concept. So the Black Fire Network is just a platform where you can be able to also see things from the reality and the perspective of the Black perspective, not just on the continent, but even in the motherland and the homeland. That is exactly what it is. So we do have shows by Keith Newsom, the founder and CEO of the Black Fire. You can check out his shows, Mr. Blackwood Fire. We also do have the Africa Today show, hosted by Keith and Joby. We do have other shows hosted by Shmani and the rest of the family. So make sure you patronize the platform and just be in support of this particular platform. What happens is that when you are able to share the word with a friend or with a colleague, and they also now able to part in, it is very, very important because they are also able to build up on the information regarding many different things that are covered right here on the Blackwood Fan. Like I did say, if you visit the network website, which is www.blackwoodfinancial.com, there's a whole lot of good things that you can find on there. Please sign up. You can join. Click on join us now. It's free. Or you can also go and find the news because there's a whole lot of things going on with the news as well. This is a media network, and therefore there's a whole lot of things from politics to economy to technology to culture. You are able to find that from different sources right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. Going back to the language, let me just stop sharing this and go back to the language. The Swahili language, it has what we call a special class of consonants. We do have consonants, which are all the letters of the English alphabet, apart from X and Q, apart from the 5 vowels, the R, E, E, or O, we have what we call the special class of consonants. So the special class of consonants are made up of 2 consonants put together. For example, the consonant cha and ha. So this is a special class of consonant. 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 This is they are like this. Let me just give a few examples of what we call the special class of consonants in Swahili. So the special class of consonants really are just 2 consonants put together. For example, C and H. For example, G and H. For example, S and H. For example, D and H. These are special class of consonants. For example, in the word chakula, I did say chakula simply means food. If I did say ninataka chakula, then ni points to I. Taka, it means want. So if I say ninataka chakula, that means I want some food. I want some food. Chakula is a word with a special class of consonant, which is a cha, chakula. If we're talking about GH, for example, in the word garama, garama simply means cost. The GH, the G and H, you might say garama ya maisha. Garama ya maisha means a cost. Garama means cost. So it's a G and H. It's a G and H. And this G and H is a special class of consonant. You might also say like D and H. D and H in the word dhahabu. Dhahabu is gold. Dhahabu is gold. It simply means gold. So if you're learning about the consonants and the vowels in Swahili, we do have the special class of consonants, and we do have the word dhahabu. Dhahabu simply means gold. So this is the D and H. The D and H is a consonant and a consonant put together. So that makes it very, very easy. But if you're talking about the normal consonants, you might say, for example, F, fa. These are normal consonants. For example, in the word faraja, faraja would mean success. Faraja would mean success. If someone says nakutakia heri na faraja, it means I wish you the best of luck and success. So faraja, the fa, the F is a consonant, and then you do have the vowel a. So this word is fa, ra, ja. This is fa, ra, ja, which is success. But we do have the consonant fa, F, the vowel a in the fa, and then the consonant ra in the vowel in the syllable ra, and then the consonant ja in the vowel in the syllable ja. So these are the normal consonants, but we also get the special class of consonants where we do have 2 consonants stuck together, plus 2 consonants stuck together. It is also important to realize that in Swahili we do not have cluster consonants. You know, some other languages we do have cluster consonants following each other. In Swahili, that is not the case. We do not have cluster consonants. we just have consonants that are followed by vowels. Consonants that are followed by vowels. So therefore, if you do find languages or words with cluster consonants, that is simply not Swahili, because we do have the vowels, and you do have a consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, all a special class of consonant and vowel. That is just the way this beautiful Swahili language works. If you do have a question, I will be more than glad to respond. If you do have a question, I will be more than glad to respond. Kindly ask a question. Yes, if you have a question, please ask a question. If you have a question, much welcome to ask. If you have a question, please ask. If you have a question, kindly ask. Anyone with a question, tafadhali uliza. Uliza swali simply means ask a question. Uliza swali simply means ask a question. And if you do not have a question, you might say sina. Sina simply means I don't. I do not have. I do not have. If you do have a question, please ask. If you do not have, you can say sina. Sina simply means I don't have. Sina, S-I-N-A. It's not the movie Sina, it's just S-I-N-A. Is I don't have. I don't have. So if you do say sina swali, it means if you do say sina swali, it's just a phrase meaning sina swali. Sina swali. Is just a phrase meaning I don't have a question. Sina swali. Sina swali is just a phrase meaning I don't have a question. If you wanted to say sina jibu, or mean I don't have an answer, sina swali, sina swali, sina swali, or sina jibu, and sina swali it simply means I don't have a question. And that is exactly how you can respond. If you don't have a question, you can say sina swali. But if you did have, you would say niko na or ni na. Niko na, because I do have niko na. I do have all ni na. You might say ni na, ni na. That would be I have. You can also use that to demonstrate that you do have a question, and I would be glad to respond. I would be glad to respond to any question if you did have a question. But also another simpler approach to learning Swahili is actually just watching Swahili movies with subtitles or listening to Swahili music with subtitles, because we do have songs with lyric videos, and some of those do have subtitles even. So therefore, if you're trying to understand what is going on, and you can use film as a platform to see what the language is all about. You can use music as a platform to learn more about the beautiful language of Swahili. And I always do say that when it comes these days in the age of AI, things have been made pretty much easy. In the age of AI, things are pretty much easy. You can just be able to become an expert, quote unquote, an expert in a very short period of time, because AI is doing most of the heavy lifting for you. So even if it comes to learning a language and you just want to, I believe I think there are bots right now that you can use to learn the language with, but also you still have to keep on practicing and engaging people, because like I was saying, you need to engage people, colleagues, friends, family, and when you engage them, you will be at a much better position in terms of understanding and in terms of being able to interact with language. Because language, you cannot just learn it by on your own self. You cannot just learn a language by, you have to have people that you're speaking the language with, and therefore it is very important. If you're talking about success, you do say Faraja, and if you're talking about friends, you would say Marafiki. Rafiki is a friend. Rafiki is a friend. Then you would say Rafiki. So, for example, if you send Hujambo Rafiki, that would be hello to a friend, because I did say earlier on that if you're trying to say hello to someone, you simply do say Hujambo. So, therefore, you say Hujambo Rafiki. Hujambo Rafiki. That would be hello, friend. Hello, friend. Or you might simply say Hujambo Rafiki yangu. Hello, my friend. Hujambo Rafiki yangu. Hujambo Rafiki yangu. Rafiki yangu. And that would be hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. And that is simply how you get to say it. That is simply how you get to say it. If you have a question, feel free to ask, because we are almost winding up, and you are always free to ask. Like I did say, you are always free to also, you're welcome to also come check out the official network website, which is www.black.firenetwork.com. And once you are on here, you will be able to just connect and interact with the rest of the family. The shows are here. You can click on the show page, and you'll be able to be up to date with what is happening with the show page as well. You can also have the community chat on there as well, and a whole lot of everything regarding the Black Hot Fan Network. You'll be able to find it there. So if no one of us has a question, I will be happy to end the live at this particular section. And remember, these shows are also available on Spreaker. They shall also be queued up on Spreaker, so that you are also able to find them on Spreaker, and also continue with your learning on there as well. Make an effort to learn the language, and you can always jump in and ask a question and connect. And that would be a wonderful thing. I do believe tomorrow we shall continue with the same. We shall be also on Rumble and BitChute. So those two platforms are also a place where you can be able to find the Black Hot Fan Network on Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Spreaker, and also on the network radio. You'll be able to interact with the Black Hot Fan Network once there as well. I want to thank the Black Hot Fan Network family for the massive support to the network. Your support to the network is not taken for granted. We truly value and appreciate your support, and also the wonderful work that Keith has been doing. This is more than 8 years of I think maybe even slightly more than 8 years. I'm not quite sure when the network was established. I would have to check with Keith. But personally, for me, I think I have been with the network for that period of time. And I just want to hope that we can learn something, and we can interact, and we can be able to get some work done on the ground as well. Because if you're able to travel and you're able to communicate with the language, and you're also able to reconnect back with the continent, that is a plus. And that is a way, that is a vision, that is a way. We would love to have it right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. Much peace and love. I want to wish you happy and a productive rest of the day. Remember to join us tomorrow, same place, same time, with the Black Hot Fire Network. I want to thank you, and I do hope that you succeed in all your endeavors this particular year. Stay consistent, stay positive, and optimistic, and results will show at the end of the day. Till next time, much peace and love. I want to say kwaheri. Kwaheri simply means goodbye. Kwaheri simply means goodbye. Goodbye. So if someone says kwaheri ya kuonana, that is a goodbye. See you later. For now, it's me, your homeboy Spikes, signing out. See you next time. Kwaheri. I think we can wind up with a jam because you're always jamming on the network. So let me see. Um, uh, trying to look for a jam. Let me see. Let me see. I think this is a song. It will help you learn the language as you wind up. Let me play you a jam.
Some days you feel like the world is on fire. Some days you feel like you're swimming in time. Some days you wake up and you don't feel like you wanna chase what you don't see. But some days you feel like you're floating up high. So how about you try this time? Lifting up your head and sing out. What more than I see, there's more inside of me. Just lift up your voice and say, nitajaribu tena kesho. Nitaamka upya na nisonge, hata wakipenda kunivunja, mambo yakizidi unga, sitashindwa kujivuta. Kesho naamka upya, kesho naamka upya.
So that song is actually a song that is sung with both languages, English and Swahili. But for the Swahili part, you'll be able to enjoy that and check it out. So that would be Bridget Blue. The name of the song is Kesho. Much peace and love. Till next time, Kwaheri.